Hi there, my name is Ron Rogers, and this presentation is titled The Difficulties of High Altitude Crash Sites. Eastern Airlines Flight 980, January 1st, 1985. Now, this accident remains the highest accident site, controlled flight into terrain accident so far. And the flight was a flight from Asunción, Paraguay to Miami with a stop in La Paz, Bolivia. And en route, it struck the Mount Illuminati at an altitude of 19,600 feet. There were 29 people on board. There were 10 crew members, and there were 19 people. And of course, all of these people died in the accident. But hey, first, I'd like to give you a word from my sponsor. Hey, let me tell you about my sponsor. I've been getting a lot of spam calls lately, and I have to answer my phone because I got rental properties. But more often than not, it's a solar panel salesman or a car warranty company on the other end. Even worse, I once got a call from someone pretending to be my grandson. When I asked him his name, he hung up. It's scary to think how easy scammers can access our information to use it to target us. And it's not just phone calls. I've had my credit card information stolen several times with fraudulent purchases showing up in the middle of the night. It's a violation of privacy, and it leaves you feeling vulnerable and exposed. That's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura is an all-in-one online security solution that helps protect my personal information and keep me safe from scams and fraud. With Aura, I can see what data brokers are selling my information and request to have it removed. Plus, I get alerted if my information shows up on the dark web or if there's suspicious activity on my accounts. Aura also includes a VPN to keep my online activity private, a password manager to create and store strong passwords, and even parental controls to keep your family safe online. And if the worst happens and my identity is stolen, Aura provides $1 million in insurance to help me recover. In today's digital age, protecting our personal information is more important than ever. Aura makes it easy to take control of your online security and privacy with one comprehensive solution. You can go to aura.com/Ron Rogers to start your 2-week free trial, also linked below in the description. Don't wait until it's too late. Take action now to keep yourselves and your loved ones safe online. You won't regret it. Thanks for listening. All right. This accident is unfortunate, and they're in a non-radar environment. This is before ground proximity warning systems, back 1985, and for some unknown reason, they deviated. Now, the reason it's unknown is because they never recovered the flight recorders or the flight data recorders, and part of that had to do with the severity of the crash site. They were cleared. They were talking to approach control, and they told them that they'd be landing in La Paz at 1947 local, and they were cleared descent from 25,000 to 18,000 feet. Now, the route of flight would have kept them clear of the terrain, but for unknown reasons, and because they could never recover the flight data recorders or the voice recorders, they don't know why. So this remains quite a mystery. And for unknown reasons, they deviated. And as you saw in the original picture, nobody puts lights up on those mountains. It's in the evening, it's dark, and unfortunately, they flew into them. And it was a Eastern Airlines 727, very similar to this aircraft. Now, they initially attempted to conduct an on-site evaluation, and the aircraft came to rest at 20,098 feet. They tried to find the flight data recorder, the cockpit voice recorder, but the wreckage was spread over quite a vast area because obviously it hit at high speed in descent. And they had 20 to 30 feet of snow, and they were just not able to recover anything. And finally, over the years, the debris moved with the glacier, and they finally, in '06, there was enough movement with the glacier that they were able to recover some parts of the cockpit, pieces, things like that. And after, on June 4th, 2016, which was one of the warmest summers on record for the area, they had another expedition up there to find devices. And they found some human remains, and they also found a piece of wreckage here, cockpit VO recorder. Okay, cockpit voice recorder. And of course, here are pieces of the black box, which, as we all know, is orange because they want to be able to see it. And they thought, okay, this is good. We've at least recovered the cockpit voice recorder. Well, unfortunately, they found pieces of it, and they found a spool of a 3/4 inch U-matic videotape. Well, of course, the flight recorders used magnetic tape, and this wasn't it. And what it ended up being, what they recovered, was 18-minute recording of a 1966 Trial by Treehouse episode of the television series I Spy, dubbed in Spanish. Now, in January of 2017, two individuals, a Mr. Futrell and Stoner, who had been inspired by reading a list of unrecovered flight recorders, decided they were going to go up to the site and see what they could find. And of course, they had to get official approval for that, and they did. And once they were granted approval by the Bolivian General Directorate of Civil Aviation, they were allowed to proceed with attempting to uncover further information and records and wreckage, and find anything that might be valuable to an accident investigation group. And of course, here is the two pictured next to the remains, obviously, of a JT-8D engine. And this is some of the pictures of them climbing up the mountains. Obviously, when you're going up to a 20,000-foot high site, this is a rather arduous trek, and it's great that these individuals attempted to do this. Unfortunately, they never were able to find anything of use in the wreckage. Of course, part of the problem is when you crash at high altitude like that, in deep snow, and you're in a glacier situation, the glacier moves, it moves the wreckage, it distributes it, it can actually grind it up a bit. And unfortunately, this is an accident that is just left with a big question mark, and the only thing they can suppose about this is the crew, for weather, made a turn off course in a non-radar environment without any terrain warning system. Obviously, they thought that they were executing a safe course of action, but unfortunately it led to a crash into the mountains. And it essentially remains an unsolved accident, other than simple speculation on what possibly happened of this Eastern flight, in a controlled flight into terrain in a high mountainous area. Thanks for watching.